Welcome back, friends. My name is Ross, and I help people rewrite their stories. And today I want to talk a little bit more about how I've been rewriting the story of my own misalignment. So, I've mentioned before how when I wake up, I do my morning stuff, and I'm not going to go over that again. But the other day I woke up and I felt that dis-ease, we'll say. And that might be too extreme of a word, but I just didn't feel in it. So I did what I'd done and I tried to go back to sleep, and it was a fitful sleep. And I must have slept because I rolled over and checked my phone, and an hour had passed. And I was like, oh. So I got up and I did my stuff, and I still felt misaligned for a good portion of the day. And it seemed like everything else that was happening was just reinforcing that misalignment. I felt like I didn't have enough time to nap again later in the day, and I didn't have enough time to make food before I had to go out into the world. And when I did go out into the world, my bus didn't show up. And so, one of the questions when I'm having this misalignment is, show me a higher way of seeing this. That's not a question. The question form is, how can I see this from a higher perspective? What is a higher way of seeing this? I realized that I had all this time waiting for the bus that I could use to introspect and journal, which I didn't do until I actually got on the bus. And even then, it wasn't until after I'd read another chapter in the Astonishing Power of Emotions book by Esther Hicks, which I've talked about before, which I will link to down below if you're interested in checking it out. It talks about how our emotions are our internal guidance system and how we can use them to realign us when we feel misaligned. And what I read while I was on the bus really resonated with the situation I was going through. The book points out that things are working out to our greatest advantage. Even if it doesn't seem like it at the time, things are working out in our benefit. When we are in unpleasant situations, or unpleasant situations are put upon us, most people can never find that inner joyful balance. And the reason for this, for the most part, is that most people depend on finding a better situation before they find a better feeling. Most people, and I am not different at all in this aspect, want an improved condition before they feel better. But the trick is that if you can maintain that inner balance, that inner alignment, then whatever situation is brought upon you won't matter, because you'll have that internal balance and be able to come at each situation with that balance and say, this is what's happening, and I am sturdy and unshakable, and I am not going to let it faze me. And the easiest way to find that inner balance is by maintaining that connection with your inner self, the I am presence, the God inside, whatever you want to call it. The easiest way to maintain that balance is by tapping into that and realizing that that inner self is unconditional love. Unconditional love is maintaining your connection to that inner source. And that inner source is also love. And when you are connected with that, then no situation can faze you. Now, if you've been raised to love conditionally, believing that there is a source of unconditional love inside of you might be hard to wrap your head around. And I wish that this video could be titled "One Quick Trick to Love Yourself Unconditionally," but it is a process, and it starts with awareness. Everything starts with awareness. And when you can become aware of that love inside of you, then you realize that it is a part of you. It is intrinsic to your nature. And it's not you as your flesh and who you appear to be, who your identities tell you you are. it is so much more. It is so much deeper, and it is so much wider than all of that. And when you can realize that, when you can realize that that love inside you is limitless and unending, and it was here before you decided to come forth into this physical presence, and it will be there after you leave this physical presence, then you realize, I don't even know what you realize. It's just a great feeling. But it does take practice. And like I said, with awareness, with meditation, you can become a little bit more aware of that inner love day by day by day. There is one way that you can kind of speed up this process of seeing that love inside of you. And I learned about this in a book called Radical Acceptance. And I want to say the author is Tara Brach, but I'm not 100% on that. I'll link it below, and I'll probably put a correction right here about the author's name if I got that wrong. She talks about this process called metta, which is imagining someone you love, like a grandparent or even a stuffed animal or Jesus, Gandhi, anything, any person, any entity that you can imagine looking at you with unconditional love, and imagining yourself in that person, that entity's position, seeing you. Once you can see yourself filtered through this unconditional love, you realize that it is inside of you as well. Like the philosopher Bieber said, you gotta love yourself. And so that's what I want to wish to you today, my friends. I wish you love. I wish you the unconditional love that is inside of you. I hope that you're able to tap into that today and the next day and the next day and the next day. And like I said, it is a process. Like any other kind of skill or habit, you need to work at it. But once you do it, you become aware of it, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So that's all I got for you today. I wish you a day, a week, a lifetime filled with peace, happiness, and loving kindness. And until next time, my friends, remember, be kind, be well, and be yourself. We'll talk soon.